Kidnapped by Corinne Barker. It was a cold December night. Sarah, Annie, Sophie, and Rachel were at the movies. The movie was over and they were waiting outside for their parents to pick them up. Sarah's mom pulls into the parking lot. "Oh, my ride is here. Bye, guys," Sarah said. "Bye, Sarah," shouted the girls. Sarah leaves, and soon after, Annie and Sophie's mom comes to pick them up. "Do you need a ride, Rach?" Sophie asked. "No, thanks. My mom should be coming any minute. But thanks anyway," replied Rachel. "Are you sure? Because my mom won't mind taking you home," Annie said. "Positive. Bye, guys." They left. But what they didn't know, that while all this was going on, a stranger was watching their every move through the glass windows of the building. He had been following Rachel for weeks and knew that she and her friends went to the movies every Friday night. He purposely went to the same movie as them and always sat 3 rows back. He waited for this moment for what seemed like forever to him. He wanted her more than anything. He casually walked outside and stood next to her. "Nice night, huh? However, it's a little chilly out though. Why are you out here all by yourself? Do you need a ride home?" "Do I know him? Why is he talking to me?" Rachel thought. "Be polite, even though he's a total creep. I swear I've seen him before." "No, thank you. My ride should be here any minute now. I don't take rides from strangers anyways," Rachel replied. The stranger walks a little closer so he was standing next to her. Rachel senses something a little off about him. She slowly moves back away from him, and he moves with her. He grabs her arm and grips it hard, and he is 2 inches away from her face, which turns deadly pale. Rachel sees him reach into his jacket pocket and pulls out something. It's a gun. Wait, I remember now. He goes to the movies every Friday night too. Annie, Sarah, Sophie, and I always see him sitting 3 rows behind us in the same movies we go see. "I really think you do need a ride," he whispered in her ear. Rachel felt him hold a gun to her side. "Oh no, this cannot be happening to me. What did I do?" she thought. "No, please don't. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't do this to me," Rachel begged. Her voice was a shocked whisper. Everything was happening too fast and all at once. "Good. Now follow these directions. First, I want you to get into that rusty red Ford across the lot. If you try anything, there will be punishment. You have 2 minutes. Go." Still holding the gun at her side, Rachel and the stranger quickly walked to the car. They got to the car. "Good. You can follow directions. Now, I assume you have a cell phone in that oversized bag of yours. Give it to me, the bag too," he said, holding out his hand. Rachel fumbled in her bag for the phone. She mumbled, This can't be happening. I'm being kidnapped by a complete stranger." She leaned her head and more in the bag to look for her phone. He had no idea that what she was mumbling she was saying to the police on the other line. She whispered so quietly that even they could barely hear her. "Stay on the line as long as you can. Please help me." "Quiet, you little brat. I said no talking," he said. She handed him her phone and the bag along with it. He then opened the trunk and took out some type of liquid. "Drink this," he said. She followed his orders and drank it. She didn't care what it was. She was just so thirsty. "This tastes funny. Now I'm feeling dizzy and sleepy. Gosh, I'm so tired." Rachel closed her eyes and fell into his arms. She was completely unconscious. 2.5 hours later, she regained consciousness. Last that she remembered was that she was waiting outside the movie theater for her mom with Annie, Sarah, and Sophie. She remembered having this crazy dream where she was being kidnapped. "Mom must have picked me up. I probably fell asleep in the car, and she brought me to my room." Rachel sat up and looked around. "Wait, this isn't my room. Where am I? Could that dream have been real?" A stranger walked into the room. Rachel realized her hands were cuffed to the bedposts. "Who are you? What did you do to me? Where am I? What?" "Shut up. I will explain everything. Let me tell you my name, Rachel. It's Charlie." He explained everything that happened and what he did to her. He had been stalking her for weeks. When he was done, he unlocked the cuffs from her wrist. Then she pushed him out of her way as hard as she could, and she ran as fast as she could into a different room. She had to get away from him. Charlie grabbed his gun and ran after her, holding the gun out in front of him. She ran into a room and found a closet and hid in it. He walked through every room in the house. In the last room he looked at, he saw that the closet door was a little bit open. He walked slowly, silently, towards the door. I know you're in here. Come out, wherever you are." Then he opened the door and grabbed Rachel's arm and threw her across the room. She huddled in a corner and was shaking uncontrollably. He walked over to her with an angry smile on his horrible face. He chuckled. "I can't wait till you're dead." He pointed the gun right out in the forehead. Rachel heard the trigger click and then the gunfire. But it wasn't Charlie's gun. It was the cop who was standing behind him. She heard a funny gurgle, and then Charlie crumbled to the ground, pale, cold, and dead.